Hello, Leo. Welcome to your April 2019 love reading. I'm Princess India if you're new, and if you're old slash family, I hate calling you old, It seems so derogatory. Welcome back, my friend. So we're doing things the same but slightly different this month. I'm going to include an overall energy for both you and your person of interest, and that's a part of your extended reading, and the link for that should be in the description box below. And also in the comments, and then we're doing our typical overall energy for you and your person of interest. But in the event that you're a cross watcher and you're cross watching for Leo, and I'm all duded up because I just left a gala and I was like, let me do Leo's reading, while I'm finishing up personals. I was like, I'm just gonna stick in there, I love your face. But anyway, so we're doing an overall energy for you and your other person. If you're a cross watcher and you're watching this for a Leo, you may resonate more with the first line as opposed to the second, right? And then the second line would be for your person of interest. But of course, we know about the fluidity of energies and flippy floppies and things of the sort. So whatever narrative aligns with you, just go with that. You know what I'm saying? Then we're going to do the dice of resonance and then go into the extended. So first card that we have for your overall energy, we have Take the Lead, which is 3 of Wands. Then we have Challenging Times, which is the 5 of Wands. And then, we have a double card, the Master card in this deck. Oh, this is so wonderful, Leo. So here's the thing. You're being asked to be the bigger person. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff going on. Things are all flippy floppy. Sitting up here like having petty ass arguments and things of the sort, And I feel like a lot of that is driven by self-protection. It's not really so much that there's really anything to argue about, but I mean, you being the, fiery leader and things of the sort, saying to make a decision. It's instead of sticking in this energy of fighting a battle that's really not necessary to fight, you know what I'm saying? It's about being the bigger person and trying to get to the clarity of the situation. But I feel like the thing that's driving all of this is ego. There needs to be a little ego death going on here. Because truth be told, like this is kind of like the mastermind behind everything that I'm seeing here. But I don't really feel like it's malicious per se. It's more or less driven by self-protection. It's the fear of being vulnerable. It's the fear of opening up your heart. It's the fear of tapping into feelings. So I'm more or less seeing it as, because the thing that Spirit's telling me is like it's an igniting factor. So I don't want to use the V word, vulnerability. But it's more or less if you make the decision to cultivate this balance within yourself of not like taking a chance and being like, hey, strange person, take my heart. No, not that. But it's more or less ascending to a higher form of power, that of which would be unconditional love, and allowing that to run the show, allowing your heart to take its rightful place as master in your life, as opposed from the ego, because it's extremely low vibrational, self-serving, selfish energy and all that good stuff. We know that already. But that's really what the root of all the arguments are. So whether this be you as a single person, situationship, or you're in a relationship, whatever the case may be, it's the source of a lot of these petty arguments are because of them being ego driven, and it's low vibrational energy that's the fuel behind all of the conflict. And there's a need for Leo to be the one that steps into their power to say, we're not doing this anymore. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, your overall energy, oh goodness, we have the romance card, you think? Interesting. Got doves up in here. We got the dude looks so enthralled. See, this is exactly why you got to step in your power. I want you to look at the dude. Like, he's all like, oh. Tantra. That's what I want to say. That's interesting. This is very interesting. I'm getting a lot off of this card. I want to say that this is something that's divinely guided, but you know how that works. Free will, all this other kind of stuff. But I feel like with Leo is the superpower in all of this. Yeah, that's the reason why. this reminds me of the Lover's card so much. But anywho, so the thing is here, Leo, or my cross watcher, is someone who's spiritually attuned and spiritually aware. So everything it is that you do, you allow yourself to be guided by spirit, right? A lot of this conflict between the two of you happens because you have one person who's like low vibrational, who's trying to, well, I mean, not that they're trying. I mean, you can't help it. If you're low vibe, you're just low vibe, and you just sully up everything, you know? So you're up here, they're down here, not in worth or value, but in the sense of energetically. And it's like if a person isn't adding to you, they're taking away. So it's a constant battle where Leo is focused on higher minded things, but because this person being low vibe, it's like it kind of pulls you down type of deal, you know? So, there's a sense of allowing it, right? Because there has to be boundaries, right? So it's almost like when this person throws in these little petty squabble things, Leo is kind of coming into it or falling into it. And there's a need for you to stay focused on knowing who and what you are, right? But there is an emotional connection here. So the first card that we have for Leo, ain't that something? We have the Ten of Wands in reverse. Then we have the Page of Swords in reverse. I mean, Page of Wands. Did I really just say the Page of Swords? The Page of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Three of Cups. Interesting. Is that another 3? Yes, it is. Okay, so the most important thing is here, kind of how I said with this whole thing, like with things being like this, it's like it's becoming a burden because you're carrying crosses that you weren't intended to bear. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like what it really may be, I feel like you're sticking into this and like trying to help the person, but it's hurting you in the process. Because like I said, low vibrational energy is like the proverbial pits of hell, right? It wants to suck everybody down there with it because it's just down there and miserable and empty and void, you know, just feeling all monotonous and dark and blah, you know? So it's like what that energy does is heavy, it's weighty, and high vibrational energy, hence the high vibrational part, you know? It's up here, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is there's a need to create some boundaries here, right? Because I think the thing that Leo is fearing the most in all of this, it may be a subconscious fear, but I mean subconscious in the sense that it's insidiously coming up in your dreams and different facets of your life, is this person kind of slowing you down. Because I get the sense that Leo is working on something, whether it be themselves, project, you know, career, whatever it is. But it's more or less like these conflicts you have with this person is affecting you emotionally. You know what I'm saying? To where you could be very focused and driven, but then it's like if, you know, the scales tip or something of the sort, you get kind of scattered brained. And it feels like at one point you were channeling your energy, and then in the next moment when the scales tip, it's like all of a sudden everything's everywhere. And it's like I'm seeing this like with the Ten of Wands, right? You think of the dude, my kid in Fortnite screamed that always, oh, wow. It's really like Banshee-like. I'm going to have a heart attack, man. I can't keep playing those games with that. Like, Jesus. Every time. Scares me to death. I'm like, what's happening? Mommy senses are tingling. Sorry about that, Leo. You probably don't even hear it because I have a noise cancellation microphone, but that face I made just now. Okay, so anyway, with the wands. So if you imagine the guy having all of the wands on his back, and you think about walking with them and like trying to keep them straight, and it's like they're starting to fall all over the place, and now there's energy to try to keep them together. That's kind of the sense that I'm getting. So the desire is to release the burden. And I feel like you should. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the direction that you are going in, you know? I feel like what we're talking about here is just kind of the thing that tips the scales. But it's like I understand why you're doing what you're doing, you know? Because, I mean, it's in good merit because it's the thought of like, oh, you know, let me show them and be there for them, blah, 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 blah. But it's not going to help because I know that's so blunt, right? But the thing is that when we play into people's pathologies, we're hurting more than we're helping, you know? So it's like if there's a person who, oh man, of course. Oh wow, I'm hearing one of my friends who always quotes something that my daddy said, which is really hilarious. I'm gonna use a crack rock example. They came to my head. So it's kind of like, you know, if you had a, I don't know, friend or family member that was on crack rocks, right? It's like, and they steal from you, you know? Like they steal your DVD player if you still have one of those, you know, your iPad and things. And they pawn it so you can get money to buy drugs, okay? Now, if you keep letting the person come into your house and you know that they're going to steal, but it's like, oh, but you know, but they're on drugs, they don't have anywhere to stay. I should let them stay here. So the sacrifice that comes with that means that your stuff going to get stolen. You're going to wake up, the whole sofa, TV, you know, the whole little set you got from Rooms to Go, all that going to be gone when you wake up. You know what I'm saying? But you knew that the night before. But it's the fact of like, you know, they don't have anywhere else to go. I know that they're going to steal from me to buy crack, but it's no big deal because they don't have anywhere else to go, right? That's enabling, right? It's enabling, and then it's sacrificing yourself in the process. And that's kind of like, of course, that was a very drastic thing. I really hope that you don't have anyone who's selling your Rooms to Go set. I really hope that you don't have a set in your house from Rooms to Go. Okay, sorry, Rooms to Go. You guys are doing better. Just need to push it a little forward. Y'all are getting a little modern. Anyway, so the whole thing I'm seeing is here is out of love for this person, you're hoping that this person can get woke like you, woke bae, via osmosis. That's not how it happens. You know, you don't get woke via osmosis. You holding space for this person and sending them positive vibes, you know, sending up prayers for them is not going to undo the fact that they have to do work, because we don't get anything via osmosis. Everything it is that you know about spirituality, did you get it through osmosis, right? Do you think it would be fair to just be able to channel wokeness to people? It's just like, bam, you woke. You know, a lot of us work very hard for that, but you appreciate what it is that you know, and you're compassionate enough in your heart to share that with other people because of the time, energy, and effort that you put into being where it is that you are now, right? Like cultivating your spiritual life. So in essence, you would actually be, and this kind of reminds me of how I was with Cancer, but slightly different. In the fact that it's like, you can't do this work for this person, nor can you carry their cross for them. Each and every one of us bears our own cross, so to speak. Because I see that it's scattering your energies, and it's hurting more than it's helping. But the beautiful thing about it with the Three of Cups is, once you release this burden, it's going to give you the opportunity to, you know, feel more free, celebrate, and do things that bring you joy. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, for your person, well, isn't that nice? Their overall energy is peaceful resolution. First card that they have is the Four of Wands. Then we have the Eight of Cups. That's funny. That is funny. And then we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. Okay, so here is the dealio. I'm laughing at this Eight of Cups because of the way that this Eight of Cups, the way that it looks. That is so freaking funny. So, okay, typically with our Eight of Cups card, it's a person who is, you know, like walking away from something, right? Like they're walking away to go in the direction of what's more in alignment with them, regardless of how much time, energy, or effort that they put in. But this young lady is still putting in the time, energy, and effort, reading books. Like that thing that we talked about like how knowing things doesn't come through osmosis. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that I'm seeing is here, I'm still picking up on this energy of you holding space. Now, in an energetic sense, like sending this person positive vibes, that's not a problem. But the thing is that you pulling back, like you pulling your energy back, is going to force them to have to put the work in to cultivate their own balance and their own stability. Because right now, the reason why things keep fluctuating is because it's almost like you're this person's foundation. And you can't do that. Like, you can't be another person's foundation. They have to be able to stand on their own. But the beautiful thing about it is the moment that you step back and stop bearing this person's burdens, it's going to force them to have to put in that work, right? It's going to force them. And that's where the thing I say it's dope is because it's like you're almost giving yourself as well as this person power back, right? Because as human beings by nature, it's like we're going to take advantage of a situation. So it's like, if, I know you're going to do it for me, I have no incentive to do it for myself. That's the enabling, right? But now this is enabling a person in a more healthy way. Now with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, this typically in Rider-Waite is a person making a decision, as opposed to kind of going back and forth on things. It's them finally putting their foot down. The interpretation in this deck is a tad bit different in the sense that it looks at the Two of Pentacles as more or less like that missing ingredient, so to speak. And that's how it's like I'm seeing that here. It's like it's an attempt to control. Well, let me tread lightly with that. It's an attempt to control the situation, but not in a sense of like manipulation, but a sense to control it like you're putting boundaries out. So it's like, this is our lane and we're trying to make sure we stay in here. Kind of like bumpers, right? Like when you're bowling, right? But the thing is that you putting those bumpers up, like just even putting them there, means now you're channeling your energy to keep this person safe, but it's counterintuitive for you because you're trying to maintain two people. So the thing that you wanted in the beginning, it's like the method was off, but if you make that shift, hold space for yourself, you can still pray for this person, you can still send them positive vibes, you can still hope the absolute best for them, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the thing is just to not try to do their work for them. So the moment that you choose yourself, you release those burdens and you rein your energy back in, right? And you stay focused on spirit or your path or whatever it is that you're focused on right now, that actually gives you this peaceful resolution that you were looking for. All of this conflict ends, like we said in our overall energy, by Leo taking the lead, And the thing, I think that's a lot of lessons that are kind of coming up this month, is this very, it's that new vision, those epiphanies that you get with things where we feel like the method that we're utilizing is ideal, but it's like that wake up call where it's like, oh, wow, this was completely like the opposite of what I was trying to get accomplished. That theme is coming up in a lot of readings for April. And I feel like Leo is just another one to add to the bunch. It's like what it is that you wanted in the first place, the means in which to get it wasn't the method you were utilizing. So you thought that putting the bumpers up would create the situation that you wanted, when in truth, it was putting the bumpers down. Wow, I like that bowling reference. So it's like you putting the bumpers up, you think you're helping the person, but because you have to hold them up, it's keeping you away from doing what you need to do, and the person isn't really learning. It's almost like you're helping them cheat, right? But if you put the bumpers down, that makes your hands free. You can take care of what you need to take care of. And if they keep throwing gutter balls, it's no big deal, because in the process, they're going to eventually hit a strike because they're going to get tired of rolling into the gutter. You know what I'm saying? This is good. All right, bowling. They're going to get tired of getting gutter balls, and they're going to strengthen their techniques. They're going to watch some YouTube videos. They're going to read some freaking books and figure out how to get that strike, right? That nice little balance. You know what I'm saying? That good little give and take. You know what I'm saying? The little secret sauce, the missing ingredient. I got those for days. I could sit here and do this all day. But that's the main thing that I'm seeing, Leo. Wow, 19 minutes? Thank you, Leo, for being so easy. But it's really just about not necessarily stepping into your power, but it's about you guys being the bigger person, It's like use those leadership qualities. Lead by example. not by doing for them, but by you fixating on yourself, or cross-watcher, by you fixating on yourself, it's like that becomes the ultimate standard that this person becomes enthralled by. Because like I said, if you look at this card, look at that. It's like home dude's just like, oh my gosh, this is what high vibrational energy feels like. Oh my goodness. Like, why haven't I been doing this sooner? This is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So our oracles that we have, the first one we have is dog. Woof woof. Your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. What I said when I talked about your energy being split like that, that's hurting more than it's harming. You got to be loyal to yourself first and foremost, because if you ain't something to yourself, you can't be nothing for nobody. You saw my serious hand? Anyway, next we have Condor. You're too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. Go ahead, little spiritual deck, cosign Princess. See that right there? Walrus. Womp womp. I don't think that's a noise that walrus make. Remain vigilant about the current situation. Pay attention to signs and omens and let them dictate your choices. This is a sign and an omen, because these oracle cards that fell out say the same thing, all the stuff I just said. You know what I'm saying? Petty arguments, all that jazz, low vibrational energy and whatnot or whatever. Whoa, all right now. I'm going to tell you what that said. It said Aquarius. But we're going to throw the Dice of Resonance. If you are not familiar with the Dice of Resonance, it's an art project that I did a year ago. You know what I'm saying? When I was feeling creative and didn't have 1,000 things going on in my life to where I'm not able to be creative as much as I like anymore. Feel sorry for me, Leo. But it has the 12 zodiac signs on there, different roles a person could play in your life, whether they're a sun, moon, or rising sign, and you also have the ability to ask a yes or no question. So if you want to ask a yes or no question, you go ahead and you pause me right now, not while I'm making a crazy face like the one I just made, like this. See that? Pause me, think of the question. When you're ready, you can go ahead and press play. I think I'm premiering this, so I don't even know if y'all can pause, but you better think of the question quick. You know what I'm saying? Then I toss them out. I don't interpret them. It's just however they resonate, they resonate. Did I tell you that a Subbie named these? Well, a Subbie named these. If I didn't say that already, I have no idea. I could have complained about something right there in my personal life, but I'm not. I'm not going to burden you with my problem. I have to get up really early to go be at my son's school for hours, and I don't even understand why it is that I'm supposed to be there and no one's saying anything. No one knows why. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to play games. I don't want to do that. I don't want to, like, I have stuff to do. See, that's my problems. Don't carry my wands. So I'm going to toss out the Dice of Resonance. Wow, y'all are really dealing with an Aquarius because that came out again. Irony. So we have Aquarius, we have Cancer, we have the X. The answer to your question is yes, exclamation point, and then we have Moon. So the person, or however that resonates, I don't know. They're either a Cancer moon or they are an Aquarius moon. Or they could just be a Cancer sun or an Aquarius, whatever. It's the X, and the answer to your question is yes, exclamation point. Well, that has been your reading, Leo. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Lurkers Lounge for your extended, you know what I'm saying? So I'll see you over there, my dear. But if you're not going that way, I love your freaking face. And I'll see you sooner than later. You know what I'm saying?